All right, so we're going to do this starting from a standing position, and then we'll work our way down to the floor and do some stuff. So again, anytime that you exercise, really starting with what you're trying to get out of the exercise program or the exercise session. So really being, aligning your attention. For me, doing my daily movement, the benefits I like that I'm getting is improving or at least increasing my circulation and kind of influencing what areas my body is utilizing. So then I'm influencing more, increasing circulation going to those areas. I'm giving my chance for my body, or a chance for me to check in with my body to increase my awareness. A lot of times we enter things of like, oh, this area is a little tender, or this area hurts. As we move, like, oh, that maybe my knee hurts to touch, but then as I move, I don't feel that area at all during any of my movements. So just becoming aware of that, and then obviously some of the benefits of just brain function and clarity of thoughts and everything like that. So the other thing I really like is being able to check what's available and then seeing what my ownership and my control over these positions are. So keeping that stuff in mind as we go through these little motions and realizing that you're getting those benefits of increased circulation awareness and brain function, even just by doing a movement or even giving yourself the space to do it. So, all right, so we're gonna do just some nice gentle single leg stand. We're gonna do it gentle hip flexion. So you're keeping the right leg straight. You're gonna bring that right leg up towards the ceiling. Staying nice and tall through the crown of the head, through the leg that you're standing on, rooted into the ground. And keeping this knee locked for now. And we're gonna switch sides. So the leg we're standing on is locked, and the leg that is out is straight and locked. Trying to be nice and tall through the rooted, stabilizing foot to the crown of the head. Even though my leg is not continually moving, I'm still thinking about keeping it tight, still trying to move it up, forward. All right, we'll shake it out. We're going back to the right leg lifting. We're going to keep that leg straight. We're going to let the leg that we're standing on slight bend. This is going to put more strain and stress into the quadricep muscle. The leg that is out straight and off the ground, knee is extended. And then relax, we'll switch sides. So I go ahead and extend the leg out first, lifting up off the floor, then bend the knee. So I can feel myself decrease, feel that control of the knee flexion. And relax, shake it out. All right, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep your thighs side by side, and if you need to, you can use a wall, back of a chair. What we're gonna do is a hip rotation. We're gonna take the foot out, which is hip internal, bring the foot back to neutral, and then rotate out, but just as far as the thighs wanna start to move apart. Like the only way I can go any further is if I let that knee and thigh move out to the side and separate, but I'm gonna keep those thighs together, or at least in that same position, and then back to neutral. Internal hip rotation, back to neutral, external. And then we're going to switch sides. Internal, neutral, external. And again, the more motion wants to happen, but it's because the leg wants to move away. Back to neutral, internal. And so with that left side, I didn't have as much motion, so my leg wanted to do more abduction so I could get more foot going across the body. So just becoming aware of where your body starts to want to work. Now we'll do our little gingerbread man. We've got our feet side by side. We're not allowing this angle to change. We're maintaining that. So our feet are about shoulder width. And then we're just going side to side stepping. That distance between each leg stays the same. We're getting up, nice balance. Exploring the pressure points of where your contact points are on your feet. Really thinking about what awareness, what areas of your body can you become aware of. Even though we're thinking about, oh, the contact points of the feet on the floor, what are your shoulders, facial muscles, you know, what position are the hands are in? Are they relaxed or you have them slightly extended and rotated out? So here they would be completely relaxed. If I actively rotate and go to more of that anatomical position, thumbs out, palms forward, that requires more involvement of my back and shoulder musculature versus if I'm just relaxed. Okay, good. All right, next we're gonna practice some just hinging, keeping our knees straight. We're just gonna hinge, pushing our butts back. So if you think about the wall back here, you're trying to touch the butt to the wall. And I'm not trying to go as far down as I can. It's just I'm going back as far as I can push my hips back, right? So this is as far as I can push my hips back as opposed to going down really far. I'm thinking about just this single motion. And then up nice and tall, push the butt back, hips down, and pushing the hips up and under, trying to push through the front part of your hips, that hip flexor space, that little crease. It's like you're trying to open it and stretch it, squeeze the glutes. All right. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to step out. We're going to let the back foot rotate. So we're going to be in this modified warrior pose. And so we're going to keep this back leg straight. The front foot knee is going to be bent. We can go as low as you feel comfortable going. We're going to have that front foot that's going to be split between the back arch. We're going to have our shoulders forward. Just feeling a nice gentle stretch. It shouldn't be like real strenuous to hold this. And then we're just going to switch sides. So we're keeping this back leg straight. And we're going to rotate, keeping the shoulders up over the top, going straight ahead. And here you can think about you're almost like trying to squeeze the legs together. Because as you rotate, they almost like want to separate from each other. And you can think about trying to squeeze, use the friction of the floor to squeeze your hips together, your legs together. Okay, we're going to step back. And now we are going to hinge at the hips, push the butt back, and then roll the hands down out to push-up position, and then roll back. Knees slightly bent, flatten the back, up nice and tall, reach to the sky, bring the hands down, forms together, and then we're going to go out, reach up, back, and walking back out and down. Hold this plank hold nice and steady. Think about tightening your quads. I'm thinking about pushing through my hands, trying to push my chest and back away from the floor, trying to make my arms as long as I can. And then we're going to walk back, flatten your back, lift up, reach. Trying to be as long as you can through the fingertips, through your feet touching the floor. Bring those hands out wide, forearms together. And here I'm thinking about squeezing the hands and forearms together. We're going to take them out wide, reach up, and walk back out. Again, hold, Nice and strong. Hold this plank. Pushing through your toes, pushing. So here I'd be kind of relaxed. I'm thinking about trying to get as much length through that area as possible. Thinking about squeezing my hands together, but the friction of the floor is not allowing them to move. That just helps to activate the front side of the chest a little bit more. The biceps by squeezing those hands together. And you're going to walk back. Flatten your back. Lift up. Again, hands out wide. Squeeze together. And then reach it up high. And walk it out. Hold this plank hold. Slowly lower, keeping those elbows in tight. We're just going to go down all the way. Or drop your forehead. We're going to take the leg out to the side. We're going to go right back into that hip rotation we were doing standing. Taking that foot across, that pelvis wants to lift. Then we're going to bring that foot back to neutral. Foot out, which is hip internal. And becoming very aware of where that pelvis wants to start rotating. Back to neutral, hip external. So you can even kind of, whatever direction the foot is going, you want to think about you're taking your pelvis to the opposite. So here my foot's going out to the right. So I'm thinking about driving my pelvis into the floor on that left side. And then as my foot goes across the body towards the left, that pelvis wants to lift up. I'm thinking about as that foot goes down and to the left, I'm thinking right pelvis down. And then we'll switch sides. Bring that foot across. And so here we do have the thighs apart. We don't have the thighs together like we were when we were standing. And then we're just continuing to hold, getting a nice pause, being very aware of where that pelvis wants to lift and rotate. All right, so now we're going to do some stuff for the upper body and arm. What we're going to do is we're going to do a reach. So the hand resting on the ground is down here. If I bring my elbow level to my shoulder blade, I have to lift up. So I'm going to reach my arm up along my head, and then I'm going to bring the arm back down, trying to bring that rib or the elbow into my rib cage towards my hip, but keeping my arm up off the floor. Because here it is down low, relaxed, not touching the floor. Here I'm having to do horizontal abduction and then lift up, reach, and back down. Squeeze. I'm thinking about pulling, depressing my shoulder blade, my shoulder away from my ear. We're going to do one more reach up. And then back down. And this entire time, I'm trying to keep my hand and form about that same level to above the ground. So now, do the other side. So here the hands relaxed. Here I'm lifting it up. We're going to reach. And then down. And about, can I get my shoulder away from that ear anymore? And then I'm going to reach out, reach up. Now I'm thinking about, can I reach those fingertips above the head and bicep towards my ear? That bicep moves away. And I'm thinking, can I get the back of that tricep and elbow towards my waistband? Hand stays off the ground. Reach. One more. and relax. All right, now we're gonna do some stuff for the hips. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna bring the leg up. We're not gonna put a lot of emphasis on still pulling this leg. We're just keeping it there for point of reference. Our effort is gonna go into the knee extension. So it's I'm keeping my leg there as a point of reference, and now I'm thinking about how much can I keep that knee extended, getting a nice stretch on that backside. Breathing into it, I'm thinking this left leg, the opposite leg, I'm trying to get it as straight as I can going down. This one as straight as I can going up. Small space in the back. The side that's lifted, that pelvis likes to rotate down, so then it's, hey, can I keep that up? And can I keep this leg from abducting? Can I keep it in, consider its lane? Then we'll lower that leg. Then we're gonna bring the left leg up bent, keep the right leg straight, and now we're gonna bend or straighten that left knee. And so here, this side is a little easier for me to straighten my knee. So now I'm gonna try to keep that same amount of knee extension, but go a little bit more through my hip. Breathing into it. And relax. All right, now we're gonna go back to the arm and the shoulder. So here what we're gonna do is you're going to have your hand open, which is external hip or shoulder rotation. Palm is facing the ceiling. And we're just gonna bring the fingers pointing directly up. And then you're slowly controlling the descend. And then back up. Fingertips pointed to the ceiling. And then really control the descend of the hand, returning back, let it relax all the way. And then we're gonna pull back up and in. So this is a very gentle movement, but it's nice about getting some blood delivered to this lower part of your shoulder musculature and pec, and getting stuff underneath your shoulder blade, some blood flow. One more. Fingertips up. And then the real important part is the control, allowing that hand to go back down. So now we'll do the other side. Fingertips to the ceiling. Rotate that hand back to where the palm is facing up. Back of the hand is on the floor. And then we're back up. Fingertips up. And then back down. Controlling the descend. Which part along that path does it get tight? Do you feel any speed bumps or little areas that prevents motion? So like this side, as I start to go back down, it actually requires just a little bit more control on my part. It just guards itself a little bit more. All right. All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring both feet flat. And here what we're going to do is you're going to bend the leg, and we're gonna bring the shin over the top. We're gonna do hip external rotation. I'm just thinking about, can I get that foot closer to this opposite shoulder? And we're bringing that foot back out, rotate it to hip internal. So now this is, we're doing hip flexion, external and hip internal rotation. Back to neutral. So we did hip rotations in 3 different positions, and they all might feel slightly different. It's nice and gentle. It's just a small little motion. There's not a lot of motion, especially when we start isolating these motions. There's not a lot of amount of motion that occurs. Okay, we'll switch legs. Just bringing that shin up and across, externally rotating. So earlier, my left side was harder to do, and the more hip external or the hip extension and hip neutral and hip flexion, my right side is harder to do. So building awareness of which side is easier, which side is harder. Just nice and gentle movements. One more each direction. And relax. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to do the ab flex and side bend. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my shoulders up off the floor and I'm side flexing, bringing my shoulder towards that ankle and trying to get my fingertips as far down that foot. And the side that is squeezing down, you can feel those ribs squeezing like an accordion. This side squeezing together. Now back to this right. And then relax. All right, so we will do that